Hello YouTube, welcome and all! And welcome back to Valkyria Revolution. A fragment has been added to the notebook. This is literally me loading in from my save. Resume story or look at the history book. Resume story.
Then allow me to continue.
Yes! Continue. By all means. Let us proceed. And progress!
I can understand that soldiers die during war. However, according to your story, Professor, Amlet the traitor went out of his way to kill one of the Empire's grand generals.
Oh, he went more
Why
out
did he
than
go
out
to
his way.
such lengths?
There's a reason behind his actions, as well as why this grave was built as the Traitors had requested. It could all be seen through the actions of the princess after she had witnessed him kill the Grand General.
Indeed. She did. She did witness that. And then it's literally just kind of done nothing. Ah, training grounds.
Why don't we catch our breath?
Oh no, she doesn't look like she wants to.
I will carry on.
Fighting against shield bearers. Shield bearers have steady defense, so you cannot deal much damage to them head on. However, they cannot block attacks from behind, so try to get behind them as often as possible. Additionally, you can break their guard by dealing enough damage, and they are also vulnerable while attacking.
Commencing operation! In the name of juggling!
Ow.
Not good!
Ooh, hello. Bleeding Ray!
Turn the tides!
Not good!
Right,
This will
mate.
settle it!
What's that one? Heal field. Freezing Ray. Did I? No, I didn't miss. I thought I'd missed there. Oh, that would not have been good. Quite the contrary.
You mustn't push yourself too hard.
Our next operation approaches. I must prove myself by then.
You're
During
fine.
our first mission, I was naught but a burden. I wish for my mind to be as well honed as this blade. Only then will my soul know peace.
Are you referring to the soldier you slayed?
My dreams have been haunted by that moment.
Well, yeah, you kind of did kill
That,
someone.
however, is because I knew so little of combat. One who mourns the death of an enemy has no place in war.
Not
Because I have
necessarily.
declared to my people that I will continue to stand at the front lines, I cannot allow my heart to falter.
They say to pity a starving, dying animal is to show great empathy. But to show great empathy means to put yourself at risk. Wild animals do not worry for other wild animals. To them, life is the never-ending struggle to survive, to find food. It's the same for us on the battlefield. There's no room for empathy.
'Tis a harsh world we live in.
Indeed it is.
So we're still learning game mechanics, obviously, which is a stereotypical RPG trait. 2 hours in, 3 hours in, you're still learning things.
From the palace terrace, everything looks black and white.
That's why you picked up the sword, Your Highness. Because you have a responsibility, both as a citizen and as royalty.
Just so.
I wouldn't want you to lose your emotional investment in all this.
Nor would I. Yet that is precisely why I worry about Amlet.
I've pored over countless records, but there is nothing on him prior to his adoption. The lack of information on him is highly unusual. Did he
No,
share
there's-
anything with you during your time at the Institute?
Not at all. He never was the type to talk about his past.
Well, usually that means it's a very touchy subject.
Perhaps I will ask the professor.
Professor?
Our former teacher. I am certain she would... Your Highness!
Oh,
Finally, I found you. Don't you know how troublesome it is when you go out without telling me where?
She needed a quiet place to practice her swordsmanship. Can't get any training done with you bothering her. Had we told you, you would just follow along and pester us here. Like
she
you're
probably
doing
wouldn't.
now.
Oh, hush. Now, milady. Let's return to the palace. I'll train you myself if you please. I've wielded a sword against my nagging brother many a time, so I'm confident in my skills. In fact, I'm positive your training would go better with me.
Absolutely not. You never hold back. Or something to happen to the princess.
I never held back against you because you're my brother. If that wasn't obvious, it's no wonder you can't find love, despite sharing some of my good looks.
You two are thick as thieves, as always.
Is that how it seems?
Indeed. I already envied your kinship. But the bond you both share really is something special.
Huh.
well, that's
What
one
kind of
way
sibling
of
would
putting
you
it, I
wish for,
suppose.
Princess? A kind and caring big sister? Or a rambunctious little brother?
Let me see. Either way, I certainly would be content. But if I had to choose, I'd prefer an elder brother. One on whom I could always rely. Someone like Godot, for instance.
You are too kind, princess.
Oh, is that... Are you blushing?
Probably.
We should return to headquarters. It's nearly time to discuss our next operation.
Great change of
Already?
subject.
I was so engaged in our practice, I suppose I lost track of the hour. Let us go then. Good day
Okay.
to you, Miranda.
Good change of subject, Godot.
Guess my big brother's got a soft spot, after all.
Now, there was no need to say that, to be honest. Although you are the little sister, which means, you know, it's in your... You know, it's kind of given that you're going to be annoying your older brother. It's a given. Or is it the other way around? Maybe it's a little... Either way. He was on it.
You're quite studious. How splendid.
Yeah, no, that's... resume the story. Let
Then
us
allow
resume-
me to continue.
Yes, yes indeed, let us continue. There was no need to come back like that. Not after that one tiny little thing. God, the first game at least had one or two scenes and then you would go to the book, and it kind of made sense why it was going back. I mean, it does here as well, it's going for the similar theme. Ah, promenade. Where's Cisco? Oh,
Even
sorry,
the young
completed.
individuals who would later be branded as traitors each had a place to call their home.
Yes, and now we're going to find out the hub? Maybe? Is this like a hub area?
Freet Erikson was a columnist who earned his acclaim by often contributing to famous newspapers. His provocative pieces stimulated patriotism in people and led the citizenry of Jutland toward jingoistic tendencies.
That's never a good thing, actually, if I have to put that way. Make that point, sorry.
Basil Sabanci inherited his adoptive father's company and factory. Through hard work, he solidified his position in the Ragnite industry and used his resources to support Jutland's forces.
Well, of course. War is always a good boost to the manufacturing businesses, I suppose.
Violet Sand was in military intelligence, although no detailed records of her remain. She
that's a
had
shock.
infiltrated and gathered intel on not only the Ruzi Empire, but various other world powers all by herself. The facts surrounding her only came to light in recent years due to more in-depth investigation and research techniques.
Why am I not surprised she's the spy type? Not surprised at all. I mean, it's kind of hinted at in the opening cutscene and all that sort of thing. So are you in charge of the diplomatic corps?
Solomon Kallenberg, a prominent member of Jutland's parliament, was said to be the brains behind the Traitors. A capable and elegant man from an affluent family, his reputation was renowned in political and social circles. He thrust himself into politics, suppressed the non-radical factions of parliament, and allowed the war to continue.
Well, finally we got an introduction to the 5 traitors because we hadn't really... We'd seen them, and introduced in a sense, but this is an actual proper introduction. And there's Mr. Main Protagonist Armored himself.
Amlet Gronkir's facade is well documented through his victorious achievements during the war. The young hero who led the anti-Valkyria squad. Without him, the Liberation War would not have been won. As you can see, they all have different facets. Knowing each one will bring us closer to the truth behind the traitors.
Cool, so we get side missions with each one of them. Nice. Interesting. I think we'll have to have a look, shan't we? Shall we? Maybe. Possibly. Definitely. Yes. I don't know. Amleth. Saul suggested we pay attention to the people, measure their enthusiasm for the war. Palace Street is the perfect place to get a feel for what the average person in Eiselnor thinks. City of Eiselnor. Talk to the people living in Jutland's capital and listen to what squad mates have to say. Press X to speak with a character. Ooh, story. Oh,
Yeah.
I should see more probably. Oh, why did you? Why? There's no need to. Could you not have just added an animation where he moves back? So that's a. It's a bit slidey. Okay. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. For God's sake, yes, I know. Story. Newspaper stand. Gather up-to-date information on Jutland's state of affairs by reading the newspapers sold at the promenade. Press X to read the headline. So is also going to be... Ooh, that's more story. Oh! Princess! Have you seen the state of the citizens? We must protect all the who's... By the way, I'm not doing voices. I'm not doing blooming different voices for everyone because I'm rubbish at it. I apologise, but I'm terrible. Have you seen the state of affairs of the citizens? I mean, I'll try, but don't hold your hopes up. We must protect all those smiles out there.
Good day to you.
Good day to you too. No, didn't want to talk to you. Wanted to talk to you. It's my duty to stay in the princess's side while she walks the city streets and gets a feel for the people's needs.
What's the matter?
Okay. Ooh, textiles. Oh, textiles. Textiles. I'll tell you what, looks like all the Palace Street stores are having trouble getting their products. Depending on how the war goes, that could change. I should check in often. The Merchants Guild! Street vendors line Elsmore's promenade. Available merchandise may vary over time. So obviously, the further on we go in the war, in the game, the war goes better for us, possibly, and then we get better stuff.
Welcome.
Ah, ooh, cotton. Heat resistance rope.